Do you know the main similarity between a rich person and a poor person? If you ask the normal person, they might say something like, oh, we're both humans, we both eat and poop and take showers. I don't poop and take showers, I don't know about you. So the main similarity between rich people and poor people is how they spend their most precious commodity to them, or what they have the most available. Rich people spend their money, like poor people spend their time. I know, my friend. I'm sorry you're locked in there. Dogs. And both of them are trying to spend what they have the most available to get what they lack. Rich people want the poor people's time, so they buy it. They'll pay you to go work for them. And poor people spend all their time for a little bit of your money. Isn't it so funny? But both parties want what the other has, and they're both opposing and equal and opposite forces. It's like physics. Physics is so cool. It teaches you that and all the principles of the world. When you just apply them, things just start going really well for you. And I think we're about to have to move this video inside. It's starting to rain. See you in a second. So now that I'm inside out of the rain, I want to show you how to make sure life never gets so bad that you have to do some Hawk Tuah and spit on anything, okay? I don't want you hawking and tooing and spitting on anything for money, first off. I don't want you doing any type of trading time for money. Hawking and tooing requires time. Now, for all the big booty cuties, hit me up. But in all seriousness, we're not gonna trade time for money. We've all been taught the lie that time equals money. No, it does not. Time has never been, time is not currently, time will never be equal to money. You must sever that connection. In this video, I guarantee you I'll show you how, because if you don't understand this, you probably will be hawking into it. And yes, I'm trend jacking 100%, and you're welcome. Because I make these videos for you. I don't place ads on my videos like other people. I don't need the advertising money, okay? I make my money with real business stuff. So I'd like you to be able to enjoy an ad-free experience. You're welcome. I'm not Netflix. I'm not other people on YouTube. So you're welcome for that. Time is not money. Don't buy the lie. It's too expensive. That's one of my favorite Myron Golden quotes. So I just got back from Mexico, Cancun, Mexico. I was over there for a Russell Brunson Unlock the Secrets in Paradise Mastermind. And one of the things we did over there was a Who Hurt You Circle. I came up with the term after someone suggested the idea. We all share our biggest business mistakes and how bad it was, like a kick in the groin. If you've ever been a dude who's ever been, If you have cousins or brothers, that was the thing to do when you were 6, was like, flick each other in the balls. It's not funny. I don't recommend doing it at all. It's way worse than giving birth. Even though I don't know what that's like. Yes, that's misogynistic, I guess. Half of you don't even know what that word means when you call me in the DMs, because I say stupid shit sometimes just to trigger you. If you want to have fun, go get on any dating site and send, hey, let me turn this light on real quick. If you want to have fun with people, just send a bunch of Tinder matches or Facebook dating profiles. Hey, do you want to do the Hawk Tuah? If you're a handsome guy like myself, you can get away with that, and a lot of girls will actually respond favorably. If you're an ugly dude, just watch the responses you get. It's hilarious. But time is not equal to money. And I learned this a long time ago when I was selling insurance, but we were doing the Who Hurt You Circle. I digress. So back to this Who Hurt You Circle story. We were doing the Who Hurt You Circle. We shared our biggest business mistakes where we got kicked in the dick. And it was not fun, it was not pleasant. I lost like 30 grand a month in recurring revenue due to a payment processor. That was the story I shared, but someone had a problem. I'm capped at 200K a month. And another guy, Ashton Shanks, was just like, dude, just hang out with rich people. I was like, what solid advice. So I'm gonna give it all to you. I'm gonna pass on the advice. So Ashton, thank you for that. Sometimes when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Success is caught, it's not taught. You have to be ready. And you have to be in the right context and the right environment to receive the right lesson, okay? It's a lot of alliteration, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I love like linguistic tools. They're so cool. Like Alex Hormozy made a video the other day talking about managers managing makers. And it's like a manager's managing maker, managers managing makers, managing maker. Tongue twister, but it hooks you in because it's catchy, it sticks. okay? And it stands out. So get really good at using linguistic devices like hypnosis. You can do all kinds of crazy things with price, marinating, and anchoring, and future pacing, double binding, extended quotes. I digress again. So if you look at the main difference, if you look at the similarity in the differences between rich people, the main difference is rich people treat their time like poor people treat their money, okay? They're both like stingy with it. So if you want to get rich, sell rich people time, sell poor people money. That's why you see all these people sell biz ops to poor people. You can make $1 million with this crypto. And this guy just says, hey, I can get this done for you twice as quick than what you're doing currently. Give me 100 million, whatever it is. And they're like, where do I send the money? These people are like, what am I getting with this? And then they charge back because they're rude people, seriously. But the thing is, when it comes to time and money, some of you have been taught money is the root of all. No, it's not. If that's the case, as Myron Golden says, the serpent, Satan, would have bribed Eve to eat the apple. So a lot of you don't even know what that means. You don't even know what half the shit you think you know means. And it's probably because you don't know it. What's Plato say? It's one of my favorite quotes. I'm the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. All right? A lot of you, the problem that you have is you view this as an either or, A and B. It's either heads or tails. What you don't realize, there's a flip side of the coin. It's the side, it's the edge that can see both sides, what's good and bad. So you have to get good at using perceptual positions, zooming out and seeing the bigger picture rather than getting tunnel vision soda-strawed into your side of the argument. No Hillary should have won, no Trump should have won. They're both sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird, my friend, okay? Quit getting taken advantage of. Listen to me, and I'll help you get some more Hawk Tuah if you're a dude, all right? I'll help you get some, all right? So poor people have a lot of time and a little money, so they trade this to get this. Now, rich people have a lot of money and a little bit of time. They have no time left to enjoy all the money they have. So what do? They pay poor people to come trade their time for a little bit of this. That way they can get a little bit back of this. Do you understand? Like when I was an insurance agent, here's what that looked like for me. I started buying and dialing leads because that's what I was sold a pipe dream on to get success. If you look at the same inputs as a mathematical equation, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Buy leads and dial. Is equal to trading time. All right? Now we're trading time for sales calls, which can also be expressed as money. Trading time for money. Buying leads and dialing was trading time for money for me. And so here's what happened. And I'll show you how much I've been able to trade my time for recently, because you just trade your time for larger, you trade a little bit less of your time, a smaller input for a larger output through leverage, which I'll show you how to do. So it would take me 60 minutes when I first started selling per sales call, and it would take me 5 sales calls to make one sale. So I would spend 60 minutes per call. It would take me 5 calls to make one sale, which was worth in advance in commissions of $600. So I was getting that 6 hours. So boom, or no, that 5 hours. So 5 hours for $600. Terrible trade. At the time it was awesome. So I only made like 30 bucks, 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks an hour with overtime. So it was taking me 5 hours to make $600. So if we look at that from I'm not even worried about that right now. So anyways, $600 is what I was making every 5 hours. So if we divide that by 5, what is that? 60 bucks an hour? No. When you're all jacked up on caffeine and you do your YouTube videos, make sure you don't make any mathematical mistakes, okay? But I want to be precise with this. I was making 120 bucks an hour per sale, or whenever I was selling. It's like, that's taking a lot of time. So what did I do? I did what any smart person did. I pulled my credit card out and I bought some coaching. I bought some programs to help me sell. So now these calls turned into 30-minute calls, which means I could do twice as many. I could get in front of twice as many people. I could make twice as many offers. A lot of you just aren't making enough offers. It's that simple. You're not making like enough pitches. You're not selling to enough people. And I'll show you where this can get blown out of proportion. It's where you can get disproportionate results if you stay tuned. All right, so now I'm doing 10 calls every 5 hours rather than 5 calls every 5 hours. So now I just doubled what I'm making per hour. 240 an hour, because now I'm making 1,200. You starting to see how this game is played? There's different inputs you can do on either side of the equation. All right? Now here's the thing, over time I also got better at sales. Like I said, you can tweak both sides of the equation. There's only 4 functions of the business, like lead generation, lead conversion, lead retention, and client, like lead ascension. Increase the LTV, get people to buy more times. Like the only 3 ways to grow the business, which Hormozy talks about all the time. Go look at the functions. He has some external functions of the business stuff that's really good training I recommend for most of you. So what we're gonna do here, don't go swimming in infested algae waters at Lake Burton in Austin, because you start itching everywhere and it's nuts in not so pleasant places. Not even gonna go into that. So now I was doing, out of every 10 sales calls, I would close 2 currently. When I got better at sales, this got up to 5 out of 10. I was closing 50%, and eventually I got up to 8 or 9 out of 10. So 8.5, let's just meet in the middle, out of 10, which that's actually not good. Believe it or not, you don't want the highest closing ratio in my opinion, because you're either not getting in front of enough of the right people or you're not charging enough. I'd rather charge more to less people and make more and do less work. Do more with less. What can I take away now? What can I add to it? Okay? I wanted to make more money for the same amount or less amount of work. All right? And so over here, this is 1,200. Let's just start using even amounts. That way this gets easier. So let's just say, because I'm factoring in advance from 75% advance, how life insurance works. We're just gonna say I made on average $1,000 a sale. That's what it would equate to after about a year when they kept the policy. I would get the tail ends of the policy, the last 25, 30%. Most of the policies you sell were around $700 in commission at the comp I was at. So 1,000, so this would be $2,000. This would be $5,000. This would be 8,500. So 8 weeks, 8 some weeks, 9 the others. For the same amount of work. This was taking me the same 10 calls. I just got better at sales, but I made more money because I got better at it. When I see people go post in Facebook groups, you don't need to worry about getting better at sales. Have fucking fun where you're at. And why I can brag about shit like this, I'll show you in a minute, because I make more an hour than those people do, like, in a fucking month, okay? Yes, that's bragging. When you start doing what I'm about to show you here in a little bit, it's gonna blow your mind. You're not gonna sleep tonight. You'll be like, if I did that, I would brag too, okay? Us men love to peacock. So that's what we can do on this side of the equation. Now we can sell more expensive stuff to increase this side. Okay, we can also decrease how many people cancel their policies or refund, chargeback, all of that. So there's so many things you can do. But I want you to realize how much your hour is worth. What is your time worth? For every hour I was selling, it started off being worth 100 an hour. And then I got better at sales, then it was worth 1,000 an hour. And then I got agents below me and it was worth 10,000 when I taught like an agency to sell, because I'd get more overrides for less work. There's so many crazy things you can do, because it's easier to do a lot more with a lot less, because it's focus, it's tunnel vision. Go pick up Ben Hardy's book, 10X is easier than 2X, so you get the full concept. Buying leads and dialing, it would take me so long. Like, you're still trading time for money. You must sever that connection, my friend. You must sever it. You must sever a snake the connection. Fucking hate Harry Potter now. I was forced to watch that shit through childhood. Not having money sucks, because when my vacations were staying up late for spring break watching either Harry Potter one week or Lord of the Rings the next and eating fucking Hamburger Helper. I will never touch Hamburger Helper or lasagna ever again. Ever again. Baloney. It's so gay. Baloney is gay. Okay? It's disgusting. If you saw where that shit was made of, all the pink goo, all the shit they scrape off the floor, some of you are still eating McDonald's. Disgusting. Or you feed that shit to your kids. I'm gonna have to create a rescue foundation where we save kids from households who eat fast food because they're uneducated and just don't care. They know all the preservatives and all the chemicals and all the heavy metals and all that shit and all this stuff. They just don't care. Here's a Coke, here's an iPad, go away, leave me alone. Like, parenting, it's a full-time job, it's so stressful. And yes, I know I don't have kids. No, I do not care. Parenting is the most beautiful thing in the world. And I get it, it's stressful. I raise dogs. Someone's gonna get so pissed about that. What do you know about parenting? Well, actually, I raised a rock when I was 4. What have you got on that? Yes, I know kids, but kids can communicate. Kids can talk and goo goo gaga. You ever raised huskies? They don't tell you what they want. They just bite your ass, or they sing songs and they never shut up, or they dig holes to China. You don't know what they want. You just have to make an educated guess. They feel no signs. So yes, I know quite a bit about parenting. I've raised these beautiful agents into rock star producers who make more in an hour than most agents make in a month through what I'm about to show you. So when I started realizing I was trapped in this vehicle of trading time for money, selling one-to-one, I found Russell Brunson and Jason Flatley and all these people selling to the masses. Tony Robbins, they sold one to many. Write that down, get it tattooed, whatever you got to do. What does that mean? Well, let's say you're an agent you're buying 80 leads a week, or you're getting 80 new prospects, 80 new leads a week, whatever. How long does that take to do 80 sales calls if all of them booked, which they never do? You might talk to 10 of them. That's still 10 hours of sales calls on average. You see, I'm going to get all 10 of those people on at the same time. And I'm going to make them all an offer at the same time. So I just did an hour what would take you 10. And I got paid more to do it. Like, my time was worth way more when I'm doing on a webinar. Now, I'm going to show you how crazy this can get. If you want me to go deeper into how I'm doing this for insurance agents now, I'll happily make another video. I did a webinar back in March, which was pretty cool. So I had a $7,000 offer that I launched in beta, which means I'm just started. This is a brand new product I made. So it was $7,000. And the reason why I got screwed on this is because I wanted to make sure it would work for other people. And it's been working flawlessly. So $7,000. I got 118 people to register for a webinar on this. It's my phase 2 coaching. And I do done-for-you webinars for them, and I teach them how to do it inside of a course. So 118 registered. It was like 97 actually showed up, which blew my mind. This is the highest show-up rate I've ever had. The offer was just, it was compelling. My marketing was good on this. At the close, there was around, I think, 60 people still on. Typically, I close 15% on my webinars at the close, so at the hour mark when I transition to the offer or the pitch, as some of you would call it, I would close, a lot of these people would fall off, like 37 people left. I would close 15% on average of these people. Now, I get way more than 60 people on webinars. However, on this one, I had 25 slots for this. I sold them all out, so I made 25 sales at $7K, and that's real dollars. That's not marketing dollars. Like, I got paid up like cash. I collected all of this. It wasn't, we're gonna do 2-year payment plans. No, like, I collected 25 people, $7K. How I broke that down throughout the funnel was pretty ingenious. I'm proud of myself for that. And then I had 8 people, so I converted over half of these, even though I only collected roughly 0.4 or 40%'s money. 8 people said, hey, I know that, like, I had to refund one person because, like, hey, after 26, no, like, I'm only taking 25. And the reason I do that, I'll explain later after I break down the marketing. Behind this one, I rolled out beta stage 2. I'll break down the whole marketing plan behind the funnel and all that stuff if you want that. So 8 people asked, hey, can you put me on a waiting list? I want to know whenever this comes back out again. It's like, happily to. Like, I'd happily take your money in the future, my friend, because this is going to be, I'm going to add at least a 0 right here. I'll tell you that right now. Because I got screwed on this. I got bent over backward by the dentist. He said, put the hands on the wall. And I said, but wait, I thought you like did teeth work. That's what the customers did to me here. And it wasn't fun, but I had to buy that goodwill and I had to get good results. I had to get good case studies for when I roll this out to agency owners. Now what happened? The first agent who did this, if you follow me on Facebook, there was a guy who did a webinar, sold insurance. I'm not going to break this down because people have been trying to copy this. No one else in this industry has ever figured out how to sell insurance at the scale I have. Not even State Farm, not even them. Their agents are still doing stuff one-on-one or self-checkout pages, all of that. This is selling one-to-many. No one else has ever figured this out. Insurance will always require a human element if you want a good policy, okay? If you're buying shit offline for your policies, that is stupid. Talk to a local agent. They will save you money, okay? They know what is good for you. Insurance agents are not bad. Quit fucking shitting all over people just because of their career path they choose. Unless it's an OnlyFans hoe, okay? Not even gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna edit that out either. Fuck it. So I made 25 sales at $7,000. What is that? 175,000? Oh, in an hour and a half. I made more money in an hour and a half than my parents have made in 2 years of their life, 3 years of their life. I've made more money in an hour and a half than most teachers will do in 5 to 6 years. I've made more money in an hour and a half than the average married couple brings home in 2 years, 3 years in Kentucky. Like it's, what is it, like 60,000 a year for a married couple? It's stupid. That makes no logical sense. It's the leverage behind it. Selling one-to-many will break that connection. If you need help with webinars, reach out to me. I do phenomenal at it. I have been doing some consulting lately, so I've helped people take their closing ratios from 3 to 15%. And if you want to, like 3 to 10%, if you want to know the difference on that, let's say you're selling a $997 thing in marketing, you always have to add the 7, duh. Let's just say a $1,000 thing. You get 1,000 people to register, 25% show up on average. So you get 250 people to show up. Let's say at the close, you're left with 150 people. Well, if you go times 3%, times 10%, who bought the thing? What is that? What is that? 15 out of that? 150 times 3%. So that's 5 people roughly. It's 4.5. So you made 5 sales. This is $5,000. Now let's say it took you $2,000 to get 1,000, so you got really cheap leads. This would cost a lot more for that, probably like around the $7 to $8 lead range. So you'd actually kind of be in the negative if you were doing that. However, if you get it to 10% by fixing the offer and fixing the framing, what surrounds your message is more important than the message itself. Understand this. Like if you want to fix the messaging on your webinar, reach out to me because your offer could be bonkers badass. Like it could be better than Hawk Tuah from a hot girl, okay? It could be hotter than that. You're just not hyping it up the right way. You're not building up the punchline for it. You're not structuring your messaging in the right way. You're not making a dramatic demonstration out of it, okay? So you know how the girl puts her hair in the ponytail before, like that's how you know it's gonna be good. All right, I'm just keeping it real. I'm a dude at the end of the day. Although I'm no longer under that compulsion of like, I just want to work and hang out my dogs and scuba dive with sharks and jump out of planes and do crazy shit. Honestly, the shit's gotten boring. When you have a lot of something, you fucking just, it's stupid. It's kind of like how rich people treat their money, all right? And spend it on everything. Now, if you convert 10% of this, now 15 people bought a $1,000 thing, which means you did 15,000 simply by fixing the framing. How long, if you were an insurance agent, would it take you to sell to 250 people? About 250 hours. That's a quarter of a working year right there. Stupid. I can do in an hour what would take you half a year. I can do in an hour what would take you 10 years. It blows my mind that people still think that trading time for money, get on the hamster wheel of buying and dialing leads or whatever type of outbound selling you're doing. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work. But if you're looking to go fast, this is the answer. This is how rich people operate. What can I do to get more out of less? Well, I can sell more to one person at the same time. That's it. That's it. So if you're an agency owner, you want to learn how to do this, send me a message. I'll let you know when the beta 2.0 launch is going. Because if you look at my Facebook and saw what the first agent who did this was, 890 something people signed up. Forget how many people registered, 300 something people showed up live, half show up rate almost, phenomenal, because they followed it's all done for you. You just have to run the ads, which I provide for you. Once again, just spend the money on the ads, I'll sell for you. But anyways, 122 people ended up signing up for policies. So he wrote 78K in a day. He talked people out of deals. But that doesn't even include the money he made the day after from the additional appointments and the money he made from the product he sold on the webinar, which was over $100. So take 122 times 100 minimum. That's what he made on the front end from the webinar. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I just want to get your taste buds, like get your mind buds salivating over what's possible if you're selling one-to-one and you transition to one-to-many. And I've paid over $100,000 to learn all of this. And that's, like I said, real dollars, not marketing made up dollars or anything like that. Those are real dollars I have spent. Those are things where the CPA has asked me, like, what is this all going to? It's debt, skills, myself, future me. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing here. Just because you can't see it don't mean I can't. Okay? I know what's best for me better than anyone else does except God. And he told me what to want. So that's it. This is how rich people operate. They buy their time back with money. I'm going to go pay Mark Zuckerberg or Larry and Sergey to show my offer to a lot of people with ads to get a shit ton of people on the same sales call all at the same time. And if you think you're going to come in here and copy this shit, and I'm the only person who's figured out how to make it work in the insurance industry. In full transparency, I stole this. Good artists copy, great artists steal. I stole this from Russell Brunson and Jason Fladlin. Their two webinar beliefs, got pregnant, had a baby, and I fucking came out, okay? I came out. It's what the car salespeople do, right? They ready to buy this thing, ready to hop in it today. See how fast she goes. See how good she blows. I'm about to go buy that Hawk Tuah website.com, and I'm just gonna pay some girl to give advice about giving head to keep their boyfriends in a good relationship. No man has ever complained after he's been drained. Okay, you want to keep your man around? Drain him. Right? Such good advice for all you ladies out there who have a man worth keeping around. If your dude cries, if he's overweight, any of that silly shit, leave him. Send me a message. I'm just playing. Don't do that. Don't break your home apart. Don't. All right? A lot of you have great people that you just abuse. Dudes, quit fumbling good girls. Quit fumbling good girls who will bring you coffee and make you look like a king and treat you good and listens to what you have to say. Like, quit fucking up good relationships. All you have to do is tell the truth. All you have to do is tell the truth. It's so simple. It's so simple. And just feed her. Just feed her food. Amongst other things, all right? So I'm going to put a disclaimer at the end of this video. This is definitely not for children, even though it's been pretty covert. It's still been overt on the surface. I'm going to go buy hawktuah.com. That way I can pay some girl on OnlyFans to make a video on giving advice. I'm going to pay her $100 to make a video. I'm going to go sell a dating course and get even more filthy rich because, I don't know. I'm like rich middle class right now. I'm not rich yet, but I'm definitely not poor anymore. I know that. And the funny thing about rich and poor people is that people who grew up and never experienced the other, they hate the other because we judge what we don't understand. Rich people who grew up rich, they're like depressed because they don't value what they have. They've never had to do anything to earn it. They're entitled. It's kind of like most girls today, my age. Like girls 30 and younger, like it's so funny. So fun. The princess. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Although I think it should be, but it's not the world we live in, sweetheart. So, sorry. That's all I got for this one. I tried to include some comedy, tried to trend jack and be viral. So, love you all. Keep being awesome. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and Facebook. If you're an agency owner and you want to be put on the waiting list, I'm only giving this to 25 agency owners because if everyone starts doing webinars, it's not going to be as effective. But if only 25 people do, there's real scarcity, there's real benefits because if one agent can do over $100,000 of premium inside of 48 hours and you had 100 agents on your team, 20 of them were really good and could just take orders, and rather than having to sell people and do all the bullshit work, if I just fed 20 of your agents 20 to 30 sales a day, what would that be worth to your business? I'm curious. So I'll be looking for 25 agency owners on the next beta, then I'm shutting this down for good, and I'll be probably moving out of this industry. I want to do bigger things with my life. I want to do bigger things. So it's been an absolute honor and a privilege to be here. It's changed my life. I just want to start playing bigger. So I'd feel like a hypocrite if I told agents to stop hiding and playing small and all this shit and I didn't do it myself. So it's time for me to level up and level in, do all that stuff. So if you're a girl, go give your man some Hawk Tuah. And if you're a dude,